Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I clean my RC cars when I'm finished bashing with them. And we're going to do it on the max today. I really worked this thing over this morning. I did a video with it and I got it super dirty. I'm going to clean it now. And I got two different ways I clean my RC cars depending on how dirty they are. I got like a dry way and a wet way, and I'm going to show you both ways on this RC car. And first off, I don't use chemicals or any kind of cleaners on my RC cars because a lot of chemicals and cleaners are degreasers, and they will remove the grease from like around bearings and parts that need to be greased, and that's a bad thing. You don't want to do that. Also, some of them like interact with plastics and stuff in a weird way, or rubber in a weird way, and it can damage some of the components of the RC car. And I mean, if you want to use cleaners on your RC car, you can. That's just my personal preference. I don't need to have these things spotless. I don't care about them being spotless. I just need them to be, you know, mostly clean. If you want to make your RC car spotless and shine and stuff like that, then this probably isn't the video for you. This is just a really quick, simple, and easy way that I clean my RC cars to keep them, you know, at least looking halfway decent. First thing we're gonna do is power on the air compressor, which, by the way, if you don't have one of these, you need to get one of these. They are so useful around the house. They are super useful for RC cars too. I absolutely love this thing. It's probably my most used tool. We're gonna take it over here to where I can get the area dirty. I don't want to do it like in my shop or anything else. Just blow it out real good. Watch out for anything like this foam that wants to come out. I'm just going to hang on to this. If you want to, you can take a brush to it and knock off what you can. Of course, we're not trying to get this spotless or anything like that. We're just trying to remove a lot of the extra dirt that's on there, debris, stuff like that. And go back over it with the air. Get inside the cracks and stuff. Lots of times, that is all I do to my RC cars. If they are just, you know, dirty from being out in the grass and things like that, as long as I don't get them real muddy or run them in the water or in the dew or something like that. This morning I was running this thing in the dew. It was wet out here, so it wasn't super wet, like it wasn't like drenched or anything else, but as it was running through the water, running through the grass, it was getting wet, and the dirt was really clinging to it, and so you can see that the dirt really clung to the outside of it. So I'm actually going to use water to clean this thing off, but usually if it's not super dirty, I'll just blow it off, and that's all I would do. Now we're going to clean it with water. So what we're going to do is take the tires off. Yes, I am removing Traxxas wheels with an Armor tool. It's kind of funny, isn't it? This is a nice tool. Armor comes with this really good tool. I like this thing a lot. Now we're going to inspect the tires, make sure the wheel and tire is not coming apart and it's all glued together. Because if there's holes there, you need to be aware of it. See, there's none. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and just one of these right here, a little that. Oh, don't spill it. There we go. Find the hole and clean the area where the hole is at. A little bit of wet, a little dry. It doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough, because we're not going to submerge these tires. We're actually going to clean them without submerging them. So same thing on this side. Clean it like that, then dry it off and wipe it out like that, and we're going to set it aside and let it dry and do the other three. I almost said four. I just prepared all my tires to be cleaned, and I had it on time lapse, and I didn't realize it because the camera was up here on my head. I couldn't see, and so I don't have any audio. So I'll tell you what I did. I inspected all my tires to make sure there was no separations from the tire and the wheel. If there is, I clean it real good and I glue it and I let it dry, but there's no separations, so they're good to go. Take pieces of electrical tape and I will cover up the holes. That way water does not get inside there. And this one over here has a crack, and so basically I treated the crack the same as you do the air holes in the tires. I just cleaned it up and put a piece of tape on there. It doesn't have to be super tight. but it has to be good enough to keep water from splashing inside of it. So start with the body. Gonna wet it down. Spray it down like that. And use this brush just to go over it. And you can use cleaner on this. I mean, you're not really gonna hurt the body. I usually don't, because I just don't care. I mean, it's no big deal to me. I don't have to have these bodies spotless, because I have hero bodies that I use when I want these things to look good. I go over it several times with a brush and rinse it off and take it back over here, and I'll blow it off. There we go, swing all that water off of it. There you can see it. You know, I noticed on camera, this thing looks like it's kind of a yellowish orange. It is an orange. It just does not show up on camera for whatever reason. I think it's because of the sunlight. But yeah, you can see that looks about as good as you're going to get for a basher body, but it's got, you know, holes and stuff in it, so it's not reinforced. I wanted to see how well it would do before I reinforce the body, just out of curiosity. It's held up pretty well, but you know, I think that looks good enough. Now we're gonna go ahead and wash this down with water. That's right, I am washing it down with water. I got a broken piece, I gotta replace that. Now remember, this one's waterproof, so you can get it wet like this. Now, even though you can get the electronics wet, I try not to. I try to avoid that if I can, but I will do all of this. Take the suspension and pull it up like this, and you can get that dirt out from inside of there. Same thing over here. And of course, if you want to hit with a brush, you can. I never clean them too well, but I go over them like this a little bit. Just knocks that loose dirt off. Then go back over it with the water again. And as far as battery trays and stuff like that, usually it's not too dirty. You can, you know, spray it off and clean it up. I try not to get too much pressure onto it, like water pressure. Like, don't sit there and spray directly into your electronics. I don't know how bad that is or good it is for them, but I never do it because these are waterproof. They're not submersible, and there's a difference. Water pressure, see, when they're waterproof, you can splash water on them. If they're submersible, that means they can actually go underneath water and they can withstand water pressure. These are not submersible, they're just waterproof, which means if you submerge them underwater, water will seep into the electronics. Now that's wet, we've got to blow it off. You've got to get this thing dry. All right, that's about as clean as I usually get my RCs. You know, it's not perfect, it's not spotless. Yeah, after you've blown it all off, if you want to go back over it with water again, you can. I just mostly get the dirt off of it, and so I mean, it looks good enough. I'm gonna go back over there and air that off a little bit more, but that's about it. That's about all I do as far as cleaning it out here. But now I got something else I need to do to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this towel, and we're going to set this up over here. Now I'm going to set this over here by the vent. I've got very low humidity in the house, about 35% humidity, and that 35% humidity will allow the electronics and stuff to dry out, and everything around the area is going to be taken out. And I'm actually, usually I will actually set it on something, but I want the suspension to be down a little bit. I want all this stuff right here to open up, and so I'm going to let it sit on the suspension like that. That way it can dry out. It'll be right here in front of the vent, and low humidity. It'll suck all that moisture out of the RC. And say hi to our snake plant, Larry. Hi, Larry. Keep the Traxxas Max company, will you? Thank you. Now we're going to do the tires. So spray them down. If you want to use a cleaner like Simple Green or something like that, you can. I usually don't. I usually just brush them down like this, unless I'm going to film a video or something like that. I really won't clean them all that well. But you see that brush, just that brush right there, takes a lot of the dirt off of it. And you see the tape stops you from getting water inside the back of it back here. Oh, for a second I panicked. I thought that was it opening up. And if you need to scrub it, you can. You can definitely tell the rear wheels get so much dirtier. As far as the treads go, if you really care, you can brush them. I never do it. I never really care about that. Come back over here to Larry. What we're going to do is we're going to put the tires over here, and we are actually going to turn that light on. You turn that light off, Kelly?
No.
Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. I'm kind of dumb sometimes. So we're going to put the tires here underneath Larry. Hey, Larry. To dry. Go ahead and pull the tape off. That way, if there's any moisture inside of the tire, when the tire dries, oh, I better not put it there. There we go. Yeah, when the tire dries, it will actually suck the moisture out into the atmosphere in the house. Hopefully. That way, if you do get a little bit in there, this will help save your tires. But this tape, man, this tape works so well. This electrical tape, it really sticks on there better than you think it would. And there we go. We're just gonna leave this all here to dry overnight. Really, the important thing is make sure you dry the RC off. Make sure that one of the most damaging things you can do is go get it muddy, go get it wet, go get it dirty, and just let it stay like that. Let that mud stay caked on there, and it will keep water in places it's not supposed to be. You don't need to do that. If it's a dry dirty, you really don't need to clean it. If it's wet even a little bit, you really need to blow it off and get all the dirt and water and moisture out from around the screws and the metal parts and stuff like that. You don't want it to rust. You do not want to damage, you don't want it to damage the components of the RC car. There you go, guys. That's how. Do you hear that frog? You hear the frog, right? It's too cold for frogs. I don't know what they're doing. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how I clean my RC cars. And I know there's other people out there that come out there with a bunch of chemicals. They spray and wipe everything down, and I don't have time for all that. I don't have time for all that. All of that process right there, it takes me no time at all. No more than like, I don't know, 20 minutes, if that long. It really takes no time at all to clean the RC car like that. I don't do a real thorough job. There's no real point in it, really. You know, these are not show trucks or anything like that. I know some people want to have, there are people that break down their RC car almost completely between every single run and clean the thing, and that's just bonkers to me. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not going to do all of that. So that's just how I do it. I don't use any cleaners. Lots of cleaners like WD-40 will ruin bearings. It can seep into places it's not supposed to. It will destroy your grease, and that's just not something you want to use on an RC car like that. I know some people wipe down the arms and stuff like that with it, and that would be fine if that's something you want to do. I don't personally do that. I don't like to use a lot of cleaners, because a lot of cleaners, some of them will break down the molecular integrity of water, and it will make it seep in a place it's not supposed to go. And it can actually, like, if you put like Dawn detergent in like water, it breaks it down to the point where it will go places it's not supposed to go. It seeps into everywhere. And so I don't use any kind of cleaners or anything like that. You can if you want to. That's up to you. I personally don't do it. It's just something I don't do. I mean, I just use water, and that's about it. I just you know, I just don't go through the trouble of making these things spotless. No point into it. My RC cars, I actually have a body for each one of my RC cars that is just like brand new. And so when I want them to look nice for like a thumbnail or to show off to a person or whatever, I got a brand new body I can slap onto the RC car, and it looks brand spanking new with a new body on there, or at least close enough for some people, right? But yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. You haven't subscribed to the channel, like the video if you like it, share it. I'll leave my Patreon down in the description below so you guys can support the channel if that's something you want to do. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys later.